It was a drizzly Saturday afternoon in Manchester. Emily Thompson, a 16-year-old schoolgirl with auburn hair tied in a messy ponytail, sat sprawled on her bed, scrolling endlessly through her phone. Homework books lay ignored on her desk, while a small packet of cigarettes sat hidden in her drawer like a forbidden treasure. Her friends had been daring her for weeks. "Come on, Emily," her best friend Chloe had teased at school. "One puff won't kill you. Everyone's doing it." At first, Emily laughed it off. Her mother's warnings about smoking echoed in her head, stories of lung cancer, black lungs, and the dangers of addiction. But peer pressure was a powerful thing, and Emily hated being the only one left out. Now, sitting in her room, she reached for the packet. She could feel her pulse quicken as she pulled one out, placed it between her lips, and struck a lighter. The faint click followed by a sudden flame felt thrilling, rebellious. She cracked her bedroom window open and leaned forward, inhaling the first drag. She coughed violently, waving the smoke away. But after a few more tries, she managed to exhale in a slow stream, watching the smoke curl into the air. Emily stood before the mirror, tilting her head, striking a pose like she'd seen in movies. "I look older," she whispered to herself with a smirk. For the first time, she felt grown up. She thought she was untouchable. Just as she raised the cigarette again, the bedroom door creaked open. "Emily, could you?" her mother's voice began, before cutting off sharply. Emily froze in place. Her mother stood in the doorway, holding a basket of laundry, her sharp blue eyes instantly narrowing at the sight. The silence was deafening. The only sound was the faint crackle of burning tobacco. "Emily Rose Thompson," her mother said slowly, setting the laundry basket down, "tell me I am not seeing what I think I'm seeing." Emily panicked, shoving the cigarette behind her back. "Mum. It's not what it looks like." But the smell betrayed her. Smoke lingered in the air, wrapping around them both. Her mother stormed across the room, grabbed the cigarette from her hand, and crushed it in the ashtray with one decisive twist. "Not what it looks like," she snapped. "Then what is it, Emily? Were you practicing magic tricks? Breathing fire?" Emily's cheeks burned red. "It was just one, Mum. I swear. I don't do it all the time." Her mother folded her arms, her face pale with anger. "So you think it's acceptable to sneak around in my house, filling your lungs with poison, after everything I've told you?" Emily's eyes dropped to the floor. I was just trying it." "Trying it?" Her mother's voice rose. "Your grandfather died of lung cancer, Emily. You've seen me crying at night about it, and this is what you decide to do? You think this is some sort of game?" Emily stayed silent, tears welling in her eyes. She had no defense. Her mother's disappointment weighed heavier than her anger. She sat on the edge of the bed, staring at her daughter. "Do you know what hurts most? That you lied. You told me you didn't smoke. You looked me straight in the eyes and lied." Emily sniffled. "I'm sorry, Mum. Really. I won't do it again." But Mrs. Thompson shook her head firmly. "Sorry isn't enough. If I let this slide, you'll be back at that window tomorrow. No, today, you'll learn what consequences feel like." She stood, went to the hallway closet, and returned with a long, flat wooden paddle, smooth, polished, and intimidating. Emily's stomach dropped at the sight. She had only seen it used once before, on her older cousin who had gotten into trouble years ago. Her eyes widened. "Mum, no. Please, not that, I'm too old." Her mother's tone was calm but unyielding. "Too old to be punished, but not too old to break rules? If you're old enough to smoke, you're old enough to be paddled." Emily's hands shook as her mother pointed to the bed. "Bend over. Mum, please. I promise I'll never do it again." Her mother's gaze was steady. "This isn't up for debate." Reluctantly, Emily leaned forward across the bed, gripping the duvet tightly. Her whole body trembled with nerves. The first crack of the paddle rang out, sharp and echoing. Emily gasped, jerking forward. The sting was immediate, searing into her skin. "You will not smoke again," her mother said firmly, raising the paddle once more. Smack! Emily yelped, biting her lip. Smack! This is for your health. Smack! This is for lying to me. Smack! And this is so you'll remember this moment. Tears spilled freely down Emily's cheeks as the swats continued. She squirmed, gripping the bedspread tighter with each sting, humiliation mixing with the pain. Finally, after a dozen sharp swats, her mother set the paddle down. Emily lay trembling, her face buried in the sheets, her sobs muffled. Her mother sat beside her, placing gentle hand on her back. "Emily, I don't enjoy doing this. But I love you too much to let you throw your life away. Do you understand?" Emily turned her tear-streaked face toward her mother. "I'm sorry, Mum. I really am. I'll never smoke again. I swear." Mrs. Thompson pulled her into a hug, despite the tears and the trembling. "That's what I needed to hear. Now, get up. Go fetch that packet from your drawer." Emily obeyed slowly, limping a little as she moved to the dresser. She pulled out the half-full packet of cigarettes and placed it into her mother's hand. Without hesitation, Mrs. Thompson marched to the kitchen bin and dropped it inside with a final thud. "Good riddance," she muttered. Emily stood quietly, rubbing her sore backside, ashamed but oddly relieved. The cigarettes no longer looked tempting. They looked stupid, cheap, and not worth the pain she'd just endured. That night, as she lay in bed, Emily thought about her mother's words. She realized the punishment wasn't just about pain. It was about love, discipline, and protecting her from mistakes she was too young to understand. And for the first time, smoking didn't feel rebellious anymore. It felt pointless.